In this video, I'm going to show you how to navigate NROC. Specifically, I'm going to show you how to navigate the Writing Center portion in NROC. Now, as you can see here, NROC has their own course orientation video, but this video does not delve as deeply into the Writing Center portion of NROC as I do. And I think it's extremely important to delve into this Writing Center portion in as detailed a manner as possible, because that, I think, is the most confusing part of NROC, especially in the beginning of the class, and especially since this is an online class and I'm not physically there to help you work and show you how to work NROC as you work through the units. So this video will be super helpful for that. So please make sure you watch it no matter how boring this video is, and please don't watch this shorter NROC course orientation video instead of watching this video. You need to watch both of them. Also, I'm in the process of editing this, but right here you'll have a document that shows you like a screenshot version of what I'm showing you. So that way you can kind of scroll a little bit more easily through a Word document than a video. But I think this video is great to help you through like the initial orientation of this class, and then this Word document can help you as you go. So there was one more thing I wanted to add and I totally forgot. Let me pause to think of it. Okay, I thought of it. So I said this in other videos, but I don't think you've seen those videos yet. It's important to work consistently in this class. One, because it just helps you get things done and progress through the units. But two, if you don't have like a regular schedule, or if you're not working consistently, if you have huge gaps in time between working in the unit, you're going to forget how to navigate the Writing Center. Okay, so it's super important that you work consistently so you don't forget how to actually navigate this class. And also, not understanding how to navigate this class, not understanding how to work in the Writing Center will cause you to fall behind, okay? So what we're going to do is go ahead and scroll to Unit 1, and I'll show you what to do. So when you're beginning a unit, you want to click the green puzzle piece, click here to begin Unit 1. Again, some of you may be in a different unit and you're just going to click the green puzzle piece of whatever unit you are working in. So we'll click that, and this is what you're going to see. So you have to complete every single one of these steps before you can go to the Writing Center. And as the NROC course orientation video will show you, there will be check marks that indicate whether or not you finished. Now, and those check marks will be colored in. They'll be this, you see how this is like this kind of tealish color? Those check marks will be filled in and they will be that color. If you are in the process of completing one of these sections, it will be just like an outline of a check mark. But again, you have to make sure you complete every single portion of these steps. If you don't, like if you skip all of this or you skip something and you submit a draft, I'm going to let you know, hey, you missed this, and I'm not going to grade your draft until you have finished this portion of the activities. So, because you can jump around, okay? Like you can jump around, but it's not useful to you if you do. So it's best to go in order. The reason you can jump around is because when you're writing, you may want to go back and look at some stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Writing Center. And it will give you instructions on the first draft. So you'll hit continue. Now I've already taken this student example essay and just copy and pasted it into the boxes just so I can give you an example. So it seems my title didn't save. Now, just so you know, when you're done, you don't have to save. Like maybe you're in the middle of working and you have to close out and go do something else. It will save it. I still recommend like emailing it to yourself, like your work to yourself. You can click this down arrow here and it will download it, and you can either email this document to yourself, or you can drag it and save it onto your desktop, or you can print it out by clicking this little icon here. So as you're writing, you'll see you have these tip boxes. And if you're not sure what should go in the introductory sentence, you just click tip and it will tell you exactly what needs to be written in this particular box. And each box has its own tip. And each of the tips are very specific to the particular unit, because every paragraph you write in any unit is going to have a topic sentence, supporting sentences, a concluding sentence. So the tips will focus specifically on your unit that you're in. So when you're done typing, now you'll see here, like if I delete this, if I skip my title, it won't let me submit. So if I type in my title, the button, I can click it now. So if you skip over something, it won't let you submit your draft, okay? So I'm going to click submit. Well, before I click submit, I do want to say like there are resources that you can use over here and on this tab and this tab, but I'm not going to really explore those because the NROC course orientation video will do that for you. So I'm going to click submit. I'm going to click yes because I'm ready. And then I'm going to have to watch this video because as you can see down here, between each draft, you have to do a couple of things. You have to watch this writing workshop video and then do some review. So I'm going to pause this video, pause this recording so I can skip through this video and get to the first draft review. Okay, so I've watched the video and now I'm going to hit continue. So here is my opportunity to review my first draft. So I'm going to make some comments on my draft. So like right now, let's pretend I am the student. I am reviewing my draft. So this is called self-review. So I will hit continue, and each of these boxes is going to ask me some questions. And I'm going to read these carefully and click yes or no. And while you're doing this, I am also looking at your draft so that I can provide instructor feedback or instructor review. Now, sometimes signals get crossed. So maybe you're able to immediately do your self-review before I can do my instructor review. And then sometimes I do my instructor review before you do your self-review. So I'm just going to go through this and do my self-review. And I'm going to pause this so I can do the review really quick. Okay, so now I don't want you just to click yes in order to get through this quickly. I want you to be honest with yourself when you're doing your self-review. Now, I also want you to know, like, I can't read your self-review. Like, I've had students in the past think that I could, like,
see what they were saying. Like maybe they'd have a question for me and they'd type it in there. I can't see that. All I can see is your essay. So once you have everything selected, you can click submit. But please notice that if you click no, and you don't type in an explanation, you won't be able to click submit. Or if you like skip over one of these, you won't be able to click submit. So you have to be careful and thorough when you're doing this. So then you can submit your self-review feedback. And this is where you can move on to the second draft. This is where you take my feedback and your feedback and start revising or editing your essay based on that feedback. So I'm going to click continue. Now, you'll see here it shows reviews pending. So this means I, the instructor, have not given your feedback yet. Okay? So if you see reviews pending, I highly recommend like not editing anything. Like you can go through and like and dismiss your own comments if you'd like, but please don't edit in these boxes until you get my feedback, because sometimes what happens is you start editing your draft before you get my feedback, and then you get my feedback and something I may have commented on is deleted, and there will be a lot of confusion there. So please wait before you actually make any corrections into these boxes. So I'm going to pause this video again so I can go into my instructor portion of NROC and give feedback to this person. Okay, so I'm doing instructor feedback now. So this is me, the teacher, giving feedback to the student. And I just want you to see what it looks like from my perspective so you know what's going on when I'm editing your draft. And it's very similar to yours, except my feedback is going to be in lime green. So just in the essence of time, I'm just going to click yes on all of these boxes and submit my feedback. So again, it's very similar to what you're already doing. So I'm submitting my review, and this is kind of what it looks like on my side. It lets me know I don't have anyone to give feedback to. So I'm going to quickly click over to the student part. So this is the student. And you can see it still says reviews pending. So I will let you know when I submit your feedback. So if this were an actual student, I would submit the feedback and I would email them and say, hey, your feedback has been submitted. And if you're still working in NROC, this is what it's going to look like. And just so you know, you cannot refresh in NROC. Okay, so what you'll have to do is you'll X out, and you'll have to go back in and click through Unit 1. So if anything is glitchy is happening, if anything, or if my feedback isn't showing up to you, instead of refreshing, just X out and go back in. And also this little flag right here means like in progress. I know I said at the very beginning of this video that like the outline check mark means in progress, but that actually is just for the review, and that means like you did the review but you didn't pass it. So you'll have to like go back and retake it. So I'm gonna go back into my writing center, and it'll take me to where I left off. So now we can see your feedback, self-review, and then instructor review. So you'll go back and see, okay, I like this comment, or I don't like that comment. Though I will say, not that I think I am some writing genius, but I do know what needs to be happening in these essays. And if you don't implement my feedback, one, I get really frustrated because I do take a lot of time to give you all feedback. And two, it's just because I'm going to end up saying the same thing over and over and over again. That's also why I'm recording this video, because people will just do their own, they'll do their feedback and they'll make their edits without looking at my feedback. And then it just gets like really weird and confusing, and I'm having to do twice as much work and you're having to do twice as much work. So it's very important that you not make any edits to what you've written here until you have both this bluish teal feedback and my lime green feedback here, okay? And when if you know, you had a common issue with this introductory sentence is people will not include the title, the author, the topic, or the purpose. Like, they'll leave one of them out. So if you need to like add something in here, you just click in here and you just start typing away, okay? And then so we'll just go through and like everything just in the essence of time. And once you've liked and dismissed all the feedbacks, this should become clickable. But since it's not, it means I looked over something and now we're good to go. So me as a student, I've read the feedback, I've rewritten things in here, and I'm ready to submit my second draft. So I'm going to click submit. Yes. And now there's another video for me to watch. And I've watched the video. I'm going to hit continue so that I can do my editing marks again, my self-review. Now in this one, you finally get to see your essay like as an essay, as opposed to those scaffold boxes or those scaffolding boxes. So when you're editing your second draft, it's a little bit different. Like, you will click and highlight. So I can say, I need to include more detail in the introductory sentence, okay? And ideally, you would make more corrections than that. So as you're doing your self-review, I'm doing the instructor review, or, you know, it's just like waiting in my inbox, like if you submitted at a time where I'm not able to get to it immediately. So, but you know, I did this, I'm going to submit my feedback and click yes. And then I will hit continue, and I can start working on my final draft. So again, just like with the first draft, you see reviews pending. That means you're waiting on my feedback, and you can't do anything. You can't do a thing in here. So you need to wait on my feedback. And let's click here. Funnily enough, sorry, that came out weird, I can refresh. So I'll just highlight like you did, insert some feedback, and again, more than likely I'm going to include a lot more feedback in here. So something I will say about this portion, especially as these essays get longer and I have like more to say, it can be difficult to see like all of the boxes, and it'll make more sense when I go to the next screen. So I'm going to hit submit. Yes, I want to submit my review. So I'm going to, as a student, I'm going to X out of here, click back into Unit 1, and go to my final draft where I'm going to start editing. So now that the instructor review has been submitted, you can click in here and start editing your draft. So right now we're revising for our final draft, which means this needs to be pristine, beautiful, flawless, easy breezy, beautiful. Okay. So same process, like you're gonna like and dismiss, but like you may have noticed, it highlights. So this, it lets you know like the corresponding box. So this comment, because if you don't have it, like if you have your mouse over here, you don't know what this comment is referring to. So as you hover, you can see like, okay, I need to include more detail in this highlighted portion here. So you'll go over here and you can start typing in your more detail. But again, I recommend you go through all of your comments before actually correcting things, because this is really where if you correct something or delete something, then the comment isn't going to like have anything to highlight. So you're like, what is that comment doing? And also here, if you have like a lot of comment boxes, it can sometimes get to the point where you no longer can see your essay. So it can get, this part I think gets a little bit annoying, where like you have so many comment boxes and you may get to a point where you can't see like where the comment box aligns with in the essay. But we make our feedback, we can submit our final draft. So, don't worry. Most of the time I'll let you know if like you're good to submit your final draft. Like I may, when I submit your feedback on your second draft, I might say like, hey, can you just email me a draft before you submit your final draft? Because you have to earn at least an 80, which is a B. Okay, you have to earn at least an 80 on your final draft before you can move on to the assessment. So most of the time, like I know by the second draft if the essay is going to earn an 80 for the final draft. So if I don't think it's at that point yet, if I think it needs like another round of revisions before you submit the final draft, I will let you know. And sometimes you'll submit your final draft and I'm just like, it's not there. I'll reset your draft and like email you feedback and be like, hey, you need to do this. Like I'll be like, hey, I reset your final draft. You need to make these corrections. And then you can submit your final draft again. Okay? So we're good. See, check. But you got to get the go ahead from me first. So you'll see here I have your final draft submitted and I go through and make comments and like type in your grade up here. And you can, so I'll submit that. And then we're going to need to X out again, of course, to see our grade. But I'll let you know. Like, if your grade isn't where it needs to be for your final draft, then we can click down here and, weird, it's not showing your grade. Maybe it's a bit delayed. So, but I can, here it is. Click here to review your final draft. So then you'll see your grade, maybe, and this is always important to look at because, especially in the earlier drafts, like I may have some feedback for you, like, you passed, but there are still some things you need to work on for the other units that you're going to start tackling. So, but once you receive your grade here, I'll email you, be like, hey, great job, you earned this grade, here's the password for the assessment, okay? Because after you get this draft done and you pass it, You will then come over here and take your assessment, and they're password protected. So, but just, remember, don't just go ahead to the next unit. So, but yeah, really what I wanted to focus on in this video is the feedback and making sure like you see that instructor review before you like submit another draft, that you're seeing both instructor review and self-review. So I hope this made sense. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please don't hesitate to reach out. Thank you.